One of the things that I noticed on your blog was a post about turning 50 recently.
Yeah.
And
that big 50.
Yeah. And I was really interested in some of the, I don't know, for me that's also a point of thinking about mortality. And you, well, I'm 3 months older.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, well.
There you go.
Slippery slope there, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You had some interesting data about cholesterol and all-cause mortality in women in your book that I thought was very interesting. But I noticed that it seemed to shift at age 55. In the 55 to 65 age range, all-cause mortality was greater in women with higher cholesterol. What do you make of that?
All-cause mortality?
Yeah, or deaths, essentially all deaths.
Yeah, I recognize what all-cause mortality is.
Yeah.
They're really, no, actually it's the opposite, that it actually seemed to confer a rather protective effect on women. I mean, as women get older, our hormones, you know, of course, certain hormones diminish, and we need cholesterol to make those hormones. So the cholesterol becomes more important to us as we get older.
Maybe I misinterpreted the chart in there.
Yeah.
I thought that it changed at between 45 and 55. It was more protective to have higher cholesterol, and then between 55 and 65, slightly the other direction.
Well, if you're looking at cholesterol as, you know, the litmus for this, you know, there's a slight absurdity actually to looking at cholesterol as being causative of anything. I mean, cholesterol is an indicator. It is not an end in and of itself. It's sort of like saying, you know, people that have gray hair, they're kind of older usually. So therefore, if we remove all the gray hair, this is going to reverse aging, you know. I mean, it's the same kind of mentality. Just because cholesterol is elevated, and elevation, again, is you know, what anybody wants to attach to it. There is no clear indication of what constitutes elevation. There are arbitrary markers in place, but that cholesterol has a lot of different roles to play, and if cholesterol is elevated, I'm looking at a lot of other things that may be associated, you know, with that. I want to take a look at what's going on with a person's thyroid function, because people with depressed thyroid function invariably have elevated cholesterol levels, you know, and that's just an association, it's not a causation. Inflammatory processes are also associated with increased cholesterol because cholesterol functions as an antioxidant. It goes to where it's needed to patch up lesions, and it responds, and we have an increased need for cholesterol when there is inflammation. It doesn't cause inflammation, it's you know, unless it's lipoprotein little a, but that's not cholesterol, that's a lipoprotein. Chronic infection will elevate cholesterol. Stress can elevate cholesterol. There are many things that can elevate cholesterol, but it doesn't necessarily, so, you know, if you're looking at people more prone to develop a depressed thyroid condition, I don't know what the statistics are as they get older, which may be possible, then perhaps that increases a mortality risk, or perhaps if people are more prone because of immune dysfunction to developing chronic infections or chronic inflammation as they get older due to whatever processes. If you have autoimmune issues, you're probably going to have elevated cholesterol also. So again, cholesterol is not an enemy. It's there playing a role, attempting to protect you in some way. And by going in and stamping out or trying to reduce cholesterol, it's the equivalent of trying to, you know, get rid of and blame the firemen that come to put out the fire. And it's just, you know, it's in my mind purely absurd.
Great.